Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering fuego releases from TOO, Onewe, Changmin, and I-dle. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including Belift producer auditions and update, inner turmoil for Cube, and continued COVID-19 coronavirus and K-pop coverage. So prepare your body. Forget to write the line here because I just did that. Hit me with that intro. Hey, what's up everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 81, and we're recording on Monday, April 6th, 2020. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Sub to the SojuTalk YouTube channel, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the SojuTalk Nation. We got two announcements this week. Number one, big shout out to our new Fiesta patron, Snap Wilson. What's up, Snap? Snap is pretty active on our Discord, so shout out to him.
The man with the voice. I remember him from the Mafia night.
Number two, episode timestamps. So
Yes.
it's one of those things like we really like. Okay, episode timestamps. Obviously, they make a lot of sense, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of effort on our part to do it. I will let you know by the time you're listening to this, every episode from 0 to 81 should now have timestamps for the big segments.
Wow.
So no bias, Nuna. You remember her from the BTS episode.
Yes.
She's the one who was asking if we had them. And you know the type of person I am, it has to happen then. So I have been working on it the last couple of days. It should be done by Wednesday when you're watching
Thank you,
this.
Doug.
You're a wild man. Thank you.
Additionally, going forward in the info section on YouTube, so down below on YouTube, you know where it is, description, you can also find the SojuTalk episode summary, which has a summary of every single episode. What songs we covered, the news, the hot takes, that kind of thing. It's all down there on a Google Doc. So look at that, and then you can go to the video, hit the timestamp, boom.
Got you covered.
That being said, our older episodes are they're a little rough.
They're rough. Deal with it. I've been having to listen to us talk for the last 3 days. It's horrific. But
I would not want to do that.
I'm gonna move on. All right, so we are now at part 1 of Soju Talk, episode 81, where we discuss big new releases, take a quick take, and hit you with the music show winners. Let's get it. So in terms of big new releases, we got 4 of them this week. On April 1st, Wednesday, April Fool's Day, we had TOO and their debut with Magnolia. On April 2nd, Thursday, we had Onewe with Q featuring Hwasa. And then today on April 6th, Monday, we had TVXQ's Changmin with his solo debut and Chocolate, and I-dle with Oh My God. But let's start at the top with TOO's debut with Magnolia. Anita, hit us with your takes on this song.
Okay, yeah, I have to go first because apparently you guys are not that positive. So first off, I listened to the song a couple times because I found that the song itself had very interesting pockets of melodies and harmonies. Like it would start off with not a lot of melody, and then it would put it in there with two people harmonizing. It was really interesting. But what I felt like kind of saved the song for me was the bridge. I thought it kind of, I guess, showcase more of the vocal talent that they have. And my only, I guess, desire, a wish for this song is that the chorus that follows would have been a little bit stronger. I feel like it got set up really well, and then it kind of felt a little weak. But I think as a debut song, it's not terrible. I think they definitely have good potential because I saw a lot of their live stages, and they have really good live vocals, which is really interesting. So they're pretty good. I would say that I don't know. I'm looking forward to them. They're gonna be on Road to Kingdom. Yep. And I saw their performance. I saw a lot of the performances for the teasers, but I'll discuss that more on State of the Nation. But yeah, also choreography. They look pretty good. I would say my favorite part as a whole was this arm movement they did in the chorus where they raised their arms. But yeah, I think pretty good debut. Definitely room for improvement, but not terrible.
Okay.
Real quick,
good.
I have a question. By bridge, did you mean the part near the end after the second chorus, or did you mean the parts leading up to each chorus?
Leading up to the chorus.
Leading up to each okay.
All right,
Also,
so
wait. Oh, sorry.
no, Anita,
Can
it
I
is
add
your
one
time.
last thing?
Yeah, add one last thing.
Warren just reminded me of this part. It's like the last third of the song, like very, very towards the end. They switch it up with a guitar sound. I was a little confused, but not in a bad way. I thought it was really interesting that they added this slow down part with the interesting guitar sound in the back. But yeah, interesting sound choices for this song overall.
Okay, so I'll give some background information. So they are from Stone. They debuted this year. Obviously, this is their debut song. So they are from World Class, which was a survival show. Mm-hmm. They are a 10-member group. The interesting thing is the competition show was called World Class. The group ended up with 10 Korean kids, though. So I don't know. That being said, that does not mean they cannot have a global impact just because it's all Korean kids. But I just found that a little funny. Zero Music Show wins, of course. Anita was pointing at the vocals a lot, right? I agree. And they lead with rap really heavily in this song. Whereas the verses are raps. They're not singing, right? Mm-hmm. That's an interesting choice for me. I also agree that the vocals were the best part overall. And that's why I was like, I know that the chorus is where you make your money. And for me, the pre-chorus where the vocals were the strongest was my best part. Mm. It's a very interesting decision to lead with rap for the verses, though. That being said, not at the fault of the group TOO, but at a group of the production team, I found that there were a lot of weird camera angles and camera work where it was like shaky cam, weird angles, sometimes upside down. And for me, as someone who doesn't know these members because I did not watch World Class, I was like, I can't recognize anyone. And I'm a little I wouldn't call it disoriented. I think that's too far. But like, because of the weird camera, the weird lighting, and sometimes it was literally like so angular that I was like, all right, well, what am I supposed to do here? Let me just say, I didn't find, like, I wasn't able to be like, this is that, like the red hair kid or something like that from this music video. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Again, I'm going to say pre-chorus was best for me. Vocal line, I think, is very good. For me, the chorus, I thought was a little bit one note. Like that whole section, the first, the chorus is sort of in two sections. The first section, it's all like the same progression three times in a row. Yeah. And I was like, for me overall, I do think that they're pretty good. Obviously, with a rookie group, a lot of potential, and I don't think we should hold them to the highest standards ever, right? But the issue for me was nothing about Magnolia stuck to me incredibly hard. Like, I didn't find it the most memorable thing in the world. But I am excited to see how they do on Road to Kingdom because there's only, I think, 7 groups on that show. There's a lot of exposure that's going to happen for them, and it's the first time I think the general K-pop audience will look at them. Right. Boom. All right, Warren, hit us with your takes on TOO's Magnolia.
Here's the thing. I generally agree with what you guys said, but to an extreme end, I guess.
Oh, God.
The vocal line was great. I liked it. And then quickly, I didn't know about the vocal line because I started with the rap line, and there was a lot of reliance on rap. And this, I mean, you guys have said it. It's not the best. It's not world-class rap. I'll give you that. Look. But that's all fine. I'm not expecting them to rap like Playboy Cardi here because Magnolia. Like, come on. I that's not really my problem with the song. I guess a lot of my issues with it lies because immediately the song was, as a Korean, I can't ignore this. Immediately the song was very philosophical and existential. Had a very utopian philosophy behind the lyrics in terms of like finding this perfect flower, finding who you are. I'm confused. And that's great. K-pop doesn't do that often. It's a great attempt. I applaud them for that, going that rare route. However, it felt very underdeveloped. It felt just like an angsty teenager going, all right, I'm confused. The world is poo-poo.
So you're speaking from like a lyrical perspective right there.
Yeah, from the lyrical thematic perspective, which seems to tie into the rest of their album. They were like, I'm confused. The world is confusing. It's poo-poo. I don't like it. And my question is, so what? Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, what's your next step? How are you going to react? and from that perspective, it was very shallow. And I guess it's because I have background in listening to songs that dive into those themes. But in general, it felt I just can't ignore the fact or the impression that it felt very shallow. And from that perspective, it was like, was this the best direction? Is K-pop the best medium to explore these kinds of themes? Now, that being said, besides that, it had decent production. The change up near the end was very. It felt kind of out of place, but it also did a good job of keeping me interested in the song to a degree. So I don't want to, I actually liked that part the most. It kind of reminds me of Monster X in terms of their production, leading into like repetitive melodies and having a whole hip hop production behind it. That being said, I don't hate them. I don't think this is a horrible song. I don't like many parts of it, and if you overlook those certain parts, I think it's very enjoyable.
Okay. No, yeah. I don't know if we'll be fully covering Road to Kingdom, but we'll definitely talk about it at some extent. So be on the lookout for that. Let's now move on to the second song. So on April 2nd, Thursday, we had Onewe Q featuring Hwasa. They are from RBW. They debuted back in 2017 as Mas and 2019 as Onewe. Their last 3 songs were Regulus, 0 and 4, Ring on My Ears, 0 music show wins so far. I thought that this was very strong from Onewe. This whole song was a vibe overall. They had just things going on. I was down for it. It's a little bit different than their usual rock sound. They are a band, but I wouldn't consider them the most rock-ish of bands. They're a little bit like a K-pop band. You know what I'm saying there. Yeah. I was personally first introduced to some of the members of ONEUS on the unit, particularly Myung, that's his name. They had a whole story arc for him on the unit where he was the leader of this band, Mas, and they were Struggle City. And he wasn't a good dancer, but he was willing to try hard, right? He's now the second vocal. He used to be the main vocalist back when it was Mas, but now he's the one of the lead vocalists. What are you gonna do? But I mean, they made it to RBW. I think that RBW signed them all. From what I could be wrong about this, but I don't remember them being from RBW on the unit. So that is something. Let me get back to the song now. That Hwasa feature is fire. Oh my goodness. And I saw a YouTube comment. I'm not going to claim it's my comment. Someone wrote this. Featuring Hwasa is my new favorite music genre. I don't disagree with that when I think about it. Anything featuring Hwasa has generally been good. That being said, I think RBW is very smart in utilizing their established stars to help elevate other talent at the company. I think overall, by featuring Hwasa, I know a lot of people are going to be there to look at Hwasa because she is the big name. But at the same time, it means they're also looking at Onewe, which I think is great. Specifically when she sings with some of the members of Onewe. So when she does this vocal thing with Younghoon, who's the main vocal now, I thought that was cool. Or when she raps with Sia, which is the rapper's name, I thought those parts were amazing. The harmonies were great. The vibes were good. Lastly, overall, I think this is a great song. Is this the best song ever? No. I think this is a pretty good song. Very good from Onewe. Now, the last thing I want to say is RBW has this weird situation where they have ONEUS, obviously, the pure K-pop boy group. And then they got Onewe, which is sort of the band group. But they are still kind of a K-pop group themselves, right?
Right.
I know a lot of eyes are on ONEUS, right? Because it's obvious they're one of the rising rookies right now. At the same time, I don't think people should overlook Onewe. I think they have a lot of good songs and a lot of potential. And I think overall, RBW is in a really good spot with their guy groups. All right, so those are my takes. Warren, hit us with yours for Q featuring Hwasa.
I generally agree. This song was easily my favorite song of this week.
Okay.
Well, it's a trap based, PBR and BR&B. There's a little bossa nova near the end. Reminds me of Sick-K and productions like Woogie or Boy Cole and stuff like that. Groovy Room. But not in any bad way. Anything I'm not gonna say they're an identical clone per se. They do have a very it does stand out is what I'm trying to say, I guess. That being said, oh yeah, and how Hwasa's featuring, great stuff. I was worried that Hwasa would overshadow everybody. That didn't happen. that personally didn't happen. It was very well balanced out. So this is actually my first time listening to Onewe. Very excited. Not what I expected from a band at all, and that's, I guess, my other side of the take, right? Because this is not band music. This isn't rock music.
No, it's not. It's not.
This is easily producible from a DAW, like a digital audio workstation, using loops. It's very in line with typical hip hop or mainstream hip hop production, having a loop kind of loop based chord progression, and bands are capable of so much more. They have so much more potential in terms of direction and like progressions and what they can do. So I guess just with this song, I was kind of confused because I thought I'd be getting one thing and I got served to something else. Not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing, but it was very confusing in the beginning. And for a second I thought they were like, I don't know. I was very confused as to what they were. But besides that, besides not being confident if that would be a good long-term sustainable direction or not, it's still a great song. I still dig it.
It's good. It's vibes. It's vibes.
The bossa nova killing point at the end, dude. Yeah. I need more of that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
I think that's a good point though, where you're saying like you would expect from a band to do band things more or less. I think at a minimum though, it's a good jumping in point for a lot of people on Onewe, because a lot of K-pop fans who are not into, I don't know if the overlap of K-pop fans and K-pop band fans, I don't know, right? But at the same time, maybe people are now going to look at Onewe's other stuff because like the big Hwasa feature, that's the main thing to draw people in right now.
Right. But then again, I guess if I want to play the devil's advocate, is if I listen to this song and then go listen to Regulus,
and you expect something else, right?
I expect something else. I'm not getting what I expected. Then
good point.
Yeah.
All right, Anita, what did you feel about Q featuring Hwasa?
Well, my initial reaction was very much like Warren's. I very much liked the sound because it was very much that very chill hip hop R&B type of sound like Ruby Room has. So I really like it. But I also feel like I was a little bit confused because I was also familiar with their previous stuff, which is more in line with the typical band sound. So I was interested to see that they were switching it up this way. And it's interesting that you guys felt that Hwasa didn't really overpower them, because I kind of leaned toward the other side.
Ooh, okay. Explain.
And I want to explain that it's maybe it's just because I was used to their sound as a band, and I feel like Hwasa has already established her voice in this kind of genre already, so it's like not that disorienting to hear her in this kind of track. So I feel like it almost suited her more than them, like, if that makes sense. But that might just be from a perspective of I'm familiar with both of their previous stuff, and I already knew that Hwasa could do this kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like the reason why I kind of felt they kind of got a little overshadowed was the voice, I guess the range that they were using, because Hwasa was naturally going a little bit higher than them, but it felt like they also can go very high. Like I wish they would have switched it up back and forth, so that they could also showcase, I guess, more of a vocal
That's
range.
true.
They kept it very mid-tone to low tone, and I don't know. I feel like it kind of gets lost a little bit.
That's a good point, because in K-pop a lot you notice who does the high note, right?
Right.
Even when there's two people singing, I think generally we lean towards who's singing the higher notes, and in that case, I could see how you would think. Well, I don't know if you think this, but you could feel that Onewe's kind of the accompanying act to Hwasa's high note.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
The duet, yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that was, I feel like that was my only, I guess, not necessarily complaint, but something that I noticed and that I feel like could have been resolved a little bit better. But like I said, I really like the sound. I didn't expect it from them, but I wouldn't mind if they kept going this way. And I guess maybe if they do it without a featuring, what they can do with it on their own, I feel like they definitely have the potential for it. So I don't know. I really like this song as well. I feel like it might have been my favorite too.
Awesome. Wait, I don't know if that's awesome because I need to talk about some other songs. But
Okay.
let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. No, I'm thinking about it. I don't agree with that. But April 6th today, Monday. The first one we're gonna cover is TVXQ's Changmin and his solo debut with Chocolate. He's from SM, of course. He debuted all the way back in 2003. Is that correct? 2017 years ago. Oh
right,
my goodness.
Yeah.
With
man.
TVXQ, his last 3 songs. I believe these are the last 3 TVXQ songs. That would make
Yes.
sense. Truth, Love Line, and The Chance of Love. He has 46 music show wins with TVXQ. I'll start with this one. All right. Let me start this off, right? Let me lay some groundwork. Big
Okay.
TVXQ fan, even as TVXQ is too. Big Changmin fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm already like stuttering because I'm so worried about these takes. He is clearly a consummate professional. Knows what he's doing. Super skilled at everything. Top tier vocalist. Visuals,
Yes.
bro. Good looking dude. Let's be honest here.
What a man.
If War's choosing Sungu, I'm choosing Changmin, bro. That's my guy.
Oh, you better not say that lightly, buddy.
Okay, but all right, now let's get into it. This is so experimental. This song. Can we like start out? I would like the intro. You shock me, and then he does that twice, and then he goes, "God, is it bad?" or something, right? that happens after, and then it goes into the song. I was so shocked by this intro. I think the entire first listen, I was just thinking like, what did I just watch in the intro? Like, for me, it just started off on a really wrong foot. I was like, oh my God, what is he doing? That being said, obviously, whatever this is just the direction he wanted to go in, right? Or SM wanted to go in. I don't know. I'm sure by this point, he has a lot of creative control in what he's doing because he's been there so long. I thought he did a really good job with what he was going for, right? But for me, it was just a little jarring. The whole thing going on. I don't know. Something about it. That being said, of course, as I said earlier, vocals and visuals were on point. For me, the pre-chorus, I found it to be a little screamy.
Oh.
Now, I get that Changmin is famous for his high notes, the dolphin
Yeah.
scream in melodic, that kind of thing, right? For me, though, sometimes less is more. I'm not saying they'll give me all the high notes, but you know what I'm talking about, Anita.
Yeah,
That pre-chorus
yeah.
was a little like
I know what you're talking about.
I wouldn't call it shouty. It was like a little screechy. I don't know how to put it.
La, 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 la. That part.
Yeah. My other gripe about this song, it seems like the word chocolate was just chosen randomly. Like they said like you want chocolate or something, but there was no like reference. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't get why the word chocolate was important. Even when I went through the lyrics, I was just like, it feels like you kind of just threw it in as the song title just to have a word there. Hopefully I'm not like just straight up dumping on this song. I feel like
about it, dog.
if you like Changmin, you like SM vocals and production, you like TVXQ, you're probably into this. Or you like something a little more experimental than normal, right? For me, like I'm into Changmin, but I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of him. I'm more just a casual listener. I respect the OGs, right? I just did not expect this. I thought he was gonna do something. I wouldn't say something that would do, because does like power dancing, that kind of thing. But I thought he was gonna do something more vocally, something more smooth, something like Blurred Lines, something like that.
Oh.
That's what the direction I thought he was gonna go in. But I don't know. It's not. I don't hate the song. There's a couple things about the song that just took me really out of it when I was listening. But Anita, counteract me. What did you think about?
Or is
chocolate
Anita gonna counteract you?
Well, right off the bat, I kind of agree with the initial reaction because I was very surprised with the first couple of notes that I heard in the music video and in the song itself. So I was very confused in the beginning. It almost felt like a musical, I would say, like very musical-ish. So I kind of felt a little surprised as well. But I think after a couple listens, because I was still a little confused, I kind of see this whole song as kind of a flex, quote unquote, from beginning to end on the vocal range, because like you mentioned, he sings this very high. Like I know he can go higher, but it's still pretty high for a male singer.
For sure.
and so I feel like I almost wondered like, wow, I kind of wish he would have done a little bit more in between, a little bit more of variety. And he does go a little low in like the speaking English parts that he has here and there, which is not bad. And I almost feel like I really enjoyed that because it was such a drastic change from the very high tone he has the majority of the song. But it did feel a little unbalanced from my perspective. I wish he would have done more in his whole vocal range, not just higher. So I still feel like I'm not sure if I'm into the fact that he stayed in that vocal range, the higher vocal range the whole time. And I think that's why I agree with you when you said the pre-chorus. It felt like it was a little bit too much, like it was a little bit too high maybe. And then we go into the chocolate part. But I don't know. I overall was afraid that he was going to go into the more ballad vocal.
Yeah, that would have been the
thing.
complete wrong decision, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, because I feel like that's a little too expected of him, knowing his vocal ability. So I'm actually happy that he decided to try this out. I'm still a little shocked though.
Yes, right?
I feel like it's
so
really
surprising.
unexpected. But I feel like it's not. I haven't decided if I dislike the song though, because I feel
I'm so conflicted. Like,
yeah, it's very interesting. I feel like you really have to listen to it to really understand the confusion you feel when you hear the song.
Y'all need to. I don't know if everyone listens to all the songs we talk about. Y'all need to check this out because it is like
it's interesting.
It's an experience. The next song's also an experience, but we're still on this one for now. Warren, what did you feel about Changmin's solo debut with Chocolate?
I guess I'm the only proponent here.
Oh, okay.
All right. It's very unique. It's very shocking. It's very energetic.
Mm-hmm.
But to a certain degree, it's it's experimental. At one point, he's going all out. There's all sorts of like stuff going on. So many instruments. He's like screaming at the end of his songs. And then. And then, in comparison to that, the beginning of the first verse is like just 808 bass and him whispering in your ears. Like
You like to be whispered to, apparently. We've learned that over time.
I do not like that.
Okay.
But he does it. I don't enjoy it. He does it. I'm just putting that out there. It's just, And there are these stark contrasts, like after he builds up to the chorus, it suddenly goes very minimal. There's a bass, and then he does this weird like tooting thing with this little drop. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the drop. I'll give you that.
I liked his outfit. I thought it was interesting. It was like a weird vest thing, but it was like suit material. I don't know. I was pretty down for that.
But the guy's going like do something like that, and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
Sounds strange. It sounds. I don't know. It sounds like a distorted.
I would love to be a fly in the room when they these are the songs, right? Because I don't think he produced this. I could be wrong. I don't think he did though. Like they have all these songs. They're like, SM, we got a big collection of people making songs, and he's like, Chocolate, boom. I wonder what the other options were. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he chose the wrong thing. It's just like to choose this is a very bold statement.
It is.
It is. But kind of going back to what I was saying. Again, not a fan of the drop, but in general, I felt like it does a really, really good job of like being strong and then keeping it like it goes maximum when it needs to go maximum, and it goes minimum when it needs to go minimum. And I feel like it travels between those two things really, really well. And like, I don't know, it's really difficult for a song to do that. Again, not sure about the tooting drop, but whatever. Besides that.
Yeah, it's tough because, how do I put it? In NFL draft, which is apparently still happening, which is when they draft college players to go professional, right?
Yeah.
They talk about floor and ceiling, meaning what is the minimum level you'll perform at? What is the maximum, right? That's a big thing they talk about. What is your floor? What is your ceiling? With some of these artists like Changmin, the floor is so high, right? That regardless of the song they choose, at a minimum it's going to be decent, right? I don't know what point I'm trying to make with that, though. I'm just saying that he did an amazing job. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the song choice, he did a great job. That's like my overall take, I guess.
It's great. It's something that only like he can do.
Oh yeah, could you imagine if like a rookie tried to do this? Oh my god, it'd be a big. I don't want to say he's earned the right to do something like this, but he kind of has, right? Like,
no, you gotta be at a certain skill level to do this, and he's there. I ain't.
All right.
Are you though? No, you ain't. Like,
hell no. But let's move on to our fourth song, probably the one y'all want us to review the most. I-dle, I-dle, however you want to pronounce them. Oh my god, this song. So they are from Cube. They debuted in 2018. Last 3 songs, Lion, which I will consider as one of the 8 tracks because there's a music video. La Ta Ta, Uh-Oh. 8 music show wins so far. I believe it's gonna go up. So before we talk about the song, I Trust, which is the mini album this is from, sold over 90,000 copies on day 1.
Wow.
Making it the second best-selling girl group album all time for the first day, following IZ*ONE's record-shattering of Bloom Eyes, which holds the record at 187,000. So IZ*ONE has a 100,000 lead, but still, this is the second best-selling girl group album ever on day 1.
What a dedicated fandom.
Yeah, awesome. Let's talk about the song. I feel like off the bat, when you listen to this for the first time, right, you either love it or you're like, what did I just watch, right? This is another one of those like visually intense music videos, maybe a little bit of a shocking song. I don't think it's completely out of the realm of I-dle stuff because they have been doing more darker concepts since they started on Queendom, for sure. That being said, for me, when I first watched this music video, I was like, I kind of like this music video. They spent a ton of money. They all look great, but I was like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm a little bit confused. That being said, some of the performance videos are starting to go online, whether it's from their own showcase or from, some channels bring them in and they do performance videos. Watch the goddamn performance video. Like, I'll repeat, watch the goddamn performance video. It all makes sense. I'm going to even throw this out there. The performance video, them doing the choreography, I enjoyed more than the music video.
Wow.
But you know how I'm big into performance video, so that just might be me, right? In terms of overall meaning of the song, I was like, what are they trying to get at? Because the music video was just so nuts, right? I read the lyrics. It seems that Oh My God is a song about like a toxic relationship where it's so good and you keep going back even though you get hurt. That's like the overall message of this song.
What a oof of a relationship.
Yeah. Production levels and concepting are at an all-time high for them. Like, they blew all the money on the concept and the money and the production is what I'm trying to say there. I think, as I've always said, Soyeon is like a genius with this stuff. It's nuts how talented she is. And I've always said that she might be the most important person to their group in K-pop. I don't know if that's a hot take. But let's talk about Soyeon's parts here. At one point, girl is rolling around in the mud at the end of the music video.
Oh, man.
I was like, okay, you doing it. And before that, in her rap song, they ended with a slurp. I just slurped there too. Like, when I heard the slurp, I was like, oh, Jesus, help me. Like, I didn't know how to react to the slurp. I kind of like the slurp. I don't know at this point. For me, overall, I felt that Minnie and Yugi were really strong. For me, I'm a really gigantic fan of Yugi's lower vocal range compared to most other girls in K-pop. I think they should always give her the pre-chorus. I think she's super strong there. And then as we saw on Queendom, Minnie always does really well on these darker concepts, and they do push her to the front hard. So I thought that was cool. Lastly, line distribution was extremely even this time, which has been one of their biggest criticisms in the past. So I think that is a step in the great direction. And overall, I think I-dle is a super talented group, of course. They are so different than a lot of the other girl groups right now. And when you pair the hype now with the album sales, the sky is the limit for them. Okay.
Okay.
Who wants to follow?
Are you doing a speech here? Like
I'm so bro. Hype train.
Jesus Christ, Lord.
Anita.
Yes,
What did you feel about Oh My God?
So I haven't watched the performances yet. So I will definitely go back and watch them because I was very much taken aback by the music video. Like you mentioned, production value is amazing because there's so much going on. Everybody looks great. I think overall the music video is very, very beautiful, but it's also a little unsettling. And once you start watching it, you get why. There's some interesting references that I think might be religious or not, depending on your take.
There's a lot of like worship going on.
Yeah. So it's really interesting, but I like that they're finding like a deeper meaning into this too. You know, like a double meaning to this kind of the title track. Oh my God, you know, I get it where they're coming from. It's interesting that they did it in this way for the music video. So I definitely feel like, even if I'm not like 100% sold on the song itself, the music video is really, really cool to look at.
It's like an art piece.
It is, yeah. It's really interesting. But I think because of that, I almost felt like I didn't remember the song itself too much because I was so taken aback by what I was watching. But from what I could take from it, I remember a lot of the beginning, the melody. It reminded me a lot of the stuff that they have done in the past, which made it seem like, yeah, this makes sense in the discography of
people were saying that the verse structure was similar to Lion.
It is.
Which
yeah,
I
that
can
makes
see
sense.
that.
I feel like for me, I might be wrong, but I think the beginning, like there's like this melody. I don't know if it's being played on a piano or keyboard type of instrument, but it reminded me of Uh-Oh. So I don't know. I might be wrong. And I don't know. I think it makes sense. Like, okay, this is like a connection to their previous sound, their previous songs. But it still leaves me with the desire, I guess, that they switch it up a little bit more. I feel like the tempo is not necessarily that much different than their previous comebacks either. So I don't know. I feel like I would be interested in seeing something that is a little bit either higher in tempo or like completely different, like so much slower, almost a ballad. I don't know. Something that's a little bit more on the other end of the extreme, because I feel like they're very much in the middle right now.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So one of the most I wouldn't call it controversial, decisive parts of this song was the chorus drop.
Oh my God.
People were calling it like an anti-drop, where they were expecting it to get hype, and it kind of didn't. It got stanky, dank, a little bit sexy instead, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with that. I don't think you always need to just go hype, but what do you feel about that?
Oh, well, for me, I kind of feel like the drop being a little bit of like the anti-drop, it made sense to me with the tempo of the song leading up to it, so I didn't feel like it needed to go faster. I guess when I'm saying if I wish that they changed the overall feel of a song, is I just wish they would, I guess, more energy in their songs, because it feels like it's very much one speed to me, like throughout the whole song. And I feel like they've done this before, like this kind of tempo. So I wish they would switch it up in that case. But I don't know. Overall, this makes a lot of sense in their discography, and I don't think that's a bad thing, because I guess it solidifies their sound, their style, their concept. But I don't know. I still wish they would go to a different end of the spectrum.
Maybe they need their Skrillex collab.
No.
I'm referencing when Foreman collabed with Skrillex.
Oh my God.
Just throwing that out there. Warren, what did you think of Oh My God?
I think I'm pretty much 100% in line with what Anita said. I mean, I guess I can, expand it upon it a little more. Soyeon definitely found something that works. She found
for sure.
She found one of the equations. Voila, a hit. It works. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. So at a certain point, she figured out the key ingredients, and that kind of ticked something in terms of popularity. These pianos. These kind of drops. That kind of progression. There's a big parallel to like Lion and like a bunch of their previous songs, and right now it's okay. I feel like it's acceptable. She hasn't milked it to the point where like the cow's about to die. It's
you milking cows out here, Feb?
You get the analogy.
I'm kidding. I just got a weird vocal image of Warren milking cows. I mean, not vocal image, mental image. Keep going.
Let me give an example. You have Zion T. That's not the best example, but Zion T, he had a very specific color. It's very unique. he would explore different spectrums with it. You know, there was songs like Yangha Bridge and like songs from Red Sign where they were a lot more poppy, but they always had a Zion-T flavor to it. And the problem sooner or later became the fact that every song had the Zion-T flavor, and it was not able to escape it. So in the long term, in the long run, that's gonna be, I feel like, something that's gonna be a homework that Soyeon is gonna have to figure out. They seem to have figured out what works. I'm very slightly concerned that they're gonna overdo it.
That's fair.
That being said, besides that, you know, it works.
It's sexy this time too.
It's sexy too, yeah.
Going full sexy.
Oh my god, literally.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Soyeon is scary. The music video is a lot. I don't know. You
don't be intimidated by a strong woman, Mari.
Is she strong or is she like crazy? Because the way she like walking around in the white room is like.
I mean, crazy could be hot. Keep going.
Bro, I ain't into crazy girls. I'm sorry. Like, man, low key, Soyeon, she has the crazy eyes. I ain't into the girl with the crazy eyes. I'm just finding that out.
All right.
Like, one more. The thing is, the music video does a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. It's just. And yeah, Doug, you mentioned that, you know, watching the performance video is, you know, it's better, it's whatever, you know, it's different, makes a lot more sense. But, you know, the music video is out here. You know, I can't retcon a music video with a performance video. You know, I'm not J.K. Rowling over here going like, this character is actually gay. Like, I can't do that, you know, like, the book's already out there, the song's already out there, the video's already out there, you know, overall, it's a good song. It's not my favorite type of song, but it's well produced. You know, I have a small inkling of a concern, but this is big. This is dope.
Yeah.
I wanna give a shout out to Tugs, one of our mods on the SojuTalk Discord, because he is a massive I-dle fan, particularly a Mion fan. My sister and I watched this music video, and she also agrees with you, Tugs, that Mion is a top tier visual. So just wanted to throw that out there, buddy.
I think my favorite member of this group is Minnie.
Minnie? Okay.
It may or may not be because of Queendom.
My favorite two are Mion and Yugi.
Yeah. Yugi's voice. Yeah, like you mentioned, man.
It's great.
So
all right.
Strong power.
That is all the songs for this week. Let's move on to, well, we were supposed to have a quick rewind here. So we started that last week, which is essentially we go back 3 weeks in time and see if any of our views have changed on songs. Well, back 3 episodes ago on episode 78, we did the apology, which this is based on. So no quick rewind this week. But speaking of rewinds, someone on our server named Lars suggested that because we're doing this whole rewind concept, let's suggest like a old K-pop oldie, quote unquote. I mean, these songs are only 10 years old, but they are somewhat older to new K-pop listeners. So the oldie for this week is Girls' Generation SNSD Kissing You, which is one of my top 2 favorite Girls' Generation songs along with Genie, but they are 2 totally different songs. This is the most bubblegummy song you'll ever see. Donghae from Super Junior's in the music video. It's going to be in like 480p, maybe 360p because of how old the song is. So go check it out. Girls' Generation, Kissing You. That is a quick rewind this week.
Oh, my love.
The last part of part 1, Anita, hit us with them show winners.
All right. So the two winners for this week have been Kang Daniel and ITZY. So on Tuesday on the show, Kang Daniel had his first win for 2U. And the following day on Wednesday on Show Champion, ITZY's Wannabe won again, and then won the next day on Thursday on M Countdown. Then on Friday on Music Bank, Kang Daniel won one more time. Saturday, Kang Daniel won again on Show Music Core. And on Inkigayo on Sunday, ITZY's Wannabe won one more time, making it giving it a triple crown and a total of 8 wins so far.
Oh, wow. 8 wins.
It just proves that like ITZY dominates music shows. It's nuts. It's unprecedented, I think, for this early of a group to just dominate every time. Kang Daniel 3 wins. We were not the biggest fans of 2U, but clearly he has a strong fandom as well. So shout out to Kang Daniel. But we are now at the end of part 1 of Soju Talk episode 81. If you are listening to the audio version, sit tight. And if you are on YouTube, head over to the episode 81 part 2 video. We'll be back after a short break.